Hey y'all, I'm Kim. I own Keller's Creations, and I'm glad you're here to join us for another Power Hour class today. We hope you enjoy this one featuring our Storylines collection. I hope you like it as much as I do, and it really is a good one for us scrapbookers to be working with since we need to be telling our own stories, right? Okay, in this one, we want you to remember a couple of things as well. That we filmed this during a live event on our Facebook page, and we hope the interaction with our other customers during it, we hope that really helps you some as well. But mainly, take a lot of notes, try to understand the process of all of our 10-minute tips, because in 10 minutes a day, you really can get 20 pages done in about an hour's time. All right, enjoy the class and let us know afterwards if you have any questions. Thanks, y'all. How is everybody? Did you have lunch? Did you have a snack? Did you have a nap? Or did you get up and get out of your pajamas and switch to your yoga pants? What is your outfit of choice for today? A day of scrapbooking at home where nobody can see you unless you're doing some kind of Zoom crops on the side or something. Man, I wouldn't have makeup on. I would probably have on a pair of big baggy shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops. That's what I'm thinking. But I got up and, did what I had to do to be able to stay with y'all all day. So class 3, we got another power hour. Y'all ready? Okay. Most of you that bought the kits from us for today, for the CKC Houston classes, bought the whole box set. So hopefully you were here for Power Hour number 1 this morning, because I'm not going to hit every same point I did for that, and that'll make this class go just a little bit quicker so that I make sure I have my 10 minutes, break before we roll into the next class after that. And if you're only watching this one, when you get done watching me here on this one, go back and watch the first one this morning too, okay? Because I try to hit some different points and a couple of different things in these 2 classes. But let's recap. If you're just joining us now and you're like 20 pages in an hour, well, you're not going to be able to cut and keep up and actually get these 20 pages done in an hour. But take some notes and listen. Make sure you understand, especially making the notes on your diagrams, okay? And then you get to sit back and enjoy when I go through the pages and show you some options on those, that you can put those pages together later. But I want you to focus on the process of 10 minutes a day, 6 days a week to get 20 pages done. Now remember, if you commit to doing it with this set, you probably won't get it done in an hour the first time. But the next time you do it, it'll be faster. And by the 3rd or 4th time you do this, you should be able to get 20 pages done in 1 hour. And I would love feedback in the coming weeks and even months on this post to let me know how you're doing with that process. So 10 minutes a day for 7 days, and when you get super good at it, you can combine 2 of those days into 1, so 10 minutes a day for 6 days. This is how the 10 minutes goes. All right, day 1, 10 minutes, you're gonna gather your supplies. If you bought the kit from us, that's already done, super easy. At the end, we'll go over a little bit more if you're gathering stuff from home, what you should gather to be your pile of stuff. Set the timer when you're gathering stuff from your scrap supply at home. Set the timer or you'll get lost. Oh, I forgot about this bag. 42 colors of washi tape I bought last year at the show. I forgot to unpack that. And then your time is all gone playing with washi tape and not getting ready for your pages, okay? So set a timer. The second time you get 10 minutes, you do all your cutting. That's where our diagrams and plans come in. And several of you that have been customers for a really long time, you actually save all of our diagrams, and we want you to do that. Save them, hole punch them, and make you a little Keller's notebook, okay? We have an idea book, and we're working on the next volume of that already, and that one will have some new diagrams in them, how to take 2 sheets of paper and make various things with them, okay? But save these diagrams. That's gonna be your plan of attack, and if you always have a plan like that, you can get all of your cutting done in 10 minutes. 10 minutes of work for 20 layouts. It's great. So the rest of your time is spent on the creative part. All right, the 3rd step or the 3rd day, you're gonna take 10 minutes to gather your photos and figure out which ones go together. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely set a timer for this. All these years I've been doing this, I still set a timer for this one because I will get lost in those cute pictures I said earlier, I mean, if Keller is under 10, oh my God, the dimples. And y'all, I haven't seen that face since he was 18. I think that's the last time he was clean shaven, and they were still there, okay? I mean, the beard's okay and all, but Keller, show me the dimples. Come on, one more time, please. All right, but set a timer so you can gather those photos. Think of what that next grouping is that you need to work on. Maybe it's just all the pictures you've taken of COVID, okay? Maybe it's all the concerts you've ever been to and you're making a concert album, a Christmas album, your last trip to Disney, a year in the life of your family, whatever it is, get that stack of photos together and divide them up in the ones that you want on layouts together. Don't worry about having an even number in the piles, and you're gonna make 10 piles because 10 double pages is your 20-page goal here, okay? So 10 piles of photos. Have at least 4 or 5 pictures together to make a double page, but we showed one earlier this morning with 15 pictures on it. So it's okay to have a lot of pictures too. Just divide them up the way you want them. I'll let you set that timer for 20 minutes the first time. The next time you do it, set it for 15 for this step, but get to where you can do it in 10 minutes, okay? All right, step 4, when you get really good at it, I can combine 3 and 4 together. If I can get my photos fast enough, then I can put my pieces with it. But step 4 for you until you get, really used to scrapbooking this way, which is hard. This is hard. Most of you want a kit, and if we hand you a 20-page album kit, y'all want to work on page 1 till it looks like page 1, and then you'll move on to page 2, right? Or maybe you do pages 1 and 2 together, and then 3 and 4 for the next double page. Y'all, it takes so much longer. You'll make more mistakes, and you'll run out of supplies that way. Do it. Like the best analogy I know is building an album this way is like you would hire somebody to build your house. You don't hire somebody to come build you a new house and to build your kitchen and get it perfect and then come back and start maybe on a bathroom or a bedroom, right? No, they do the foundation first, then they do the walls, and then they do the ceiling, and the absolute last thing you do is hang your pictures on the wall. Once you get those pictures hung, you know you are settled in, all right? That's the way we're gonna build this book. All right, so on day 4, you are taking the pieces you cut up on day 2 with the photos you sorted on day 3, and you're sorting those pieces into those piles, into your 10 piles for your layouts. The more photos you have, the less pieces go there. We're gonna show you a good mix of what you're cutting up to have some borders, to some different sized photo mats, and some pieces to embellish with. And when you add the other pieces in our kit for you, flashcards for titles and that kind of stuff, you'll see how they play out, and you can get pretty good about, ooh, I want these together. This title looks good with these photos, that kind of thing. It's not hard, okay? But it's also not rocket science. This how many pieces goes with this many photos. The more photos, the less pieces. The less photos, the more pieces, okay? 10 minutes, best guess. You can make those changes when you get to the next step, which is day 5, okay? That's where you're actually gonna start laying your pages out. Your base pages with your photos down first, the other pieces around them, and you may start gluing them together if you have time that day. Day 6, you're going to journal, and day 7, you're going to embellish. Now your first time through, if it takes a little while longer to add some extra embellishments and details, it's okay. But even if you doubled that time, and it took you 2 hours to get 20 pages done, y'all, I've been to crops with a lot of you, in 2 hours, you don't get a tag made. I've watched you, okay? So let's work on this. It's a hard process the first time, but it will be life-changing. Katie B, camera woman extraordinaire, tell them.
It's changed my life.
Okay?
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, and Katie is scrapbooking current stuff. She is living her life and taking amazing pictures from her beautiful daughter. And I think if I had to be trapped somewhere during COVID, I'd want to be trapped with them because they're like at their parents' lake house or something. Anyway, but she gets to spend her life doing what they need and want to do today and captures it in pictures. And then it's like the next week, she's got them on pages. And I'm going to take a little bit of credit for that. Because years ago when Katie walked into my classroom, she was in tears. She wanted to quit. She had put all this pressure on herself. I'm sorry, I probably should have asked permission.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
Before I started saying all this.
It was the magazines.
Yeah, the pressure from the magazines to be perfect. One perfect photo with 400 embellishments around. Y'all, the power, I said it earlier, the power is when those pictures get on a page so they can get in somebody's hands. The power of getting those pictures on a page, all those pictures I took when Papa was sick, gave my mom a reason to get up every day, to see a new photo and to look at those books. And 8 years later, those are still her favorites. You know, I snapped a couple pictures of some layouts this week and sent them to Keller. Like, look at this. It was them putting up summer corn, like on the 4th of July. That was always the day, either the 3rd or the 5th or something around that weekend, our family put up corn. If you're from the South, you know what that means. That is a whole long process. And my family, especially Super Dave, if you chime in, you can tell them I am useless when it comes to putting up corn. But I dang sure took pictures every time they did and did fun layouts with it. And I will eat the cream corn once it's done. But actually shucking it and silking it, yeah, that's not me. Okay. I digress, or we don't have time for stories in this class. Okay, you're gonna journal, you're gonna embellish, you got 20 pages done. Commit to it with these pages in this kit, okay? Try it again with more supplies you get from us or that you have at home, and try it 2 or 3 times and see if that helps you get your pictures on the page, your stories told, okay? Take the pressure off of yourself like it did off Katie when she realized, I can put my pictures down first and just fill any space around it. I can get all the pictures I like on one layout and it doesn't have to be perfect. I can tell the pictures with photos and then words and then add a couple of cute embellishments. You mean I don't plan my pages around an embellishment? It is life-changing. Katie, does that pretty much sum it up?
That's about it. Cover ugly paper.
Alrighty, if you will rotate this thing down for them so we can get busy. Day 1 is done, your supplies are gathered. So we're moving on to day 2 of your 10 minutes. It'll probably take us 15 or so, but we're gonna go through these diagrams together. Get pen and paper. Do not try to cut while we're doing this. Okay, and again, not an official apology, so to speak. You can put a whole page there so you can see.
Yeah.
Not an official apology, so to speak, but we are not technically professional or savvy, and we just want you to get what I would be teaching you if we were in the classroom. You know, if I was in the classroom, I'd be running around at the front of the room just holding up random pages and pointing to the diagram, okay? So, all right, I think we look good there. Let me make sure I think I got those in the right order again. All right, so you should have 2 diagram sheets. Somebody in the first class said they only had 1 sheet. Again, I will say, by the time we get through all of these classes today, just make a list of anything and everything you're missing from the kits and send us 1 private message on Facebook or 1 email. The email address to get directly to me to fix anything I need to fix is kellerscreations@gmail.com. Now, I will be in touch maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, definitely by Monday. But I'm gonna get some sleep when this is over. Y'all kept me up late with a midnight crop last night, mailing out a gazillion boxes the beginning of the week. I'm gonna give you some flash sales to occupy your time tonight and tomorrow, and then I will be ready to hit it hard again Monday, and I will get your missing things to you, okay? But you should have 2 sheets. I gave you a box to write notes on, okay? But you can write extra notes on other papers if you want. Hopefully you wrote down the 7 10-minute steps. Okay, just like Power Hour this morning, we are building this class with 7 pieces of quadrant paper, okay? If you're not familiar with our quadrant paper, they are 6x6 prints. We put 4 prints together that we like the way they look, all right? And then we give you the solids on the back side. The fun header strip, we made sure to put a cute print border on that so that you can use that too. Also, you do not jump in with our stuff and automatically cut the header strip off every time. Y'all saw in that last class that we needed to use that to seam something back together, okay? I'm kind of betting it's gonna happen again. So don't say, I'm gonna get ahead and cut the header strips off and cut all of these into 6x6 quadrants. Don't do that. Let's do it 1 step at a time, okay? If you notice, our diagrams for this set are labeled like the solid colors you see. So cream, dark cream,
Dark cream.
okay, dark pink and cream had a baby, it would be prink. Okay, cream, dark pink, dark brown, and light brown, all right? So you want to look at one of these sections as a whole 12x12 quadrant, and then within each of these, it shows you how to cut them up. Now, I said this morning, a lot of the cuts were the same to show you versatility, and this is absolutely the same. On this one, you're gonna cut the header strip off, okay? Let me see, if I go this way, does that get everything in the picture? Is that better? Okay, so you're gonna cut the header strip off, it shows it there, and then you're gonna cut right here, okay? Cut that line, so this is a half and that's a half. Then you're gonna cut these two quadrants apart. It shows you your cream is gonna stay 6 by 6, as is your dark pink. And then this section at the bottom is gonna be 4 borders, 1.5 by 12, okay? And I mentioned this earlier, and I probably should have had you write these numbers down. You can line this section up on your paper trimmer at 1.5 4 different times. But then you have to keep lifting the bar and moving it back and forth. If you want to lift that bar once and just slide your paper across, you can line up at 4.5, 3, and 1.5. So if you want to write those numbers in, do that. Okay? 4.5, 3, and 1.5. And that's going to leave these two connected and turn those into 4 borders. Okay? Those are the cuts on the first one. On this second one, you're going to cut the header strip off, and then you're going to cut them into the 4 quadrants. 2, you're going to leave whole. These 2, you're going to cut a 2-inch piece off. That leaves you a 4 by 6, and so those 4 by 6s are good mats. So write that there. This little piece is a 2 by 6 that comes off of there, and a 2 by 6 that comes off looks like this. Okay? When you cut that 2 by 6 in half, you end up with 2 2 by 3s. So that's basically how these 2 are going to be cut. All right? I'm going to go ahead and show you the trick on this tag. I did it earlier, but let's practice it again. Yay, I have a good sous chef here. Handed me my scissors. I love it. Okay, so one of these 2 by 3s, you just pinch 2 corners together on the outside, and then you snip those outside edges off. And you have the cute little tags that you see in the diagram, okay? So you're gonna get 4 tags out of this. You will have 2 6 by 6 mats, 2 4 by 6s, and you will have 4 little tags. All right, Katie, any questions coming in? Or are they pros by now?
They're loving the colors. They love that the videos are back up. Wendy's watching.
Okay, all right, Wendy, keep me straight. I'm used to having you in the classroom with me. Katie's doing her best.
Kim says she's not usually a pink person, so she hasn't bought the line, but darn it, she keeps watching you use it and thinks she might have to get some.
Y'all know I'm not a very pink girly girl either. So when I was listening that y'all wanted more flowers and more pink stuff, I made sure I designed a pink collection that even I would use. And I would put Keller's pictures on these pages, okay?
Yeah, dark pink.
We put enough brown. And when my first proof came through from Cynthia, I think we had 3 shades of pink going here and 1 shade of brown. And I'm like, let me see that swatch list I gave you. It swapped it out a little bit. We just need a little bit of pink here because there's enough everywhere else. But this is a great collection when you want a little bit of the girliness, but not too much, not too Anna Griffin, Laura Ashley, a little too much.
Yeah, but I will say because there are the other pinks in patterns, you can bring in solid colored and other pinks.
But the brown and all of it grounds it a little bit, don't you think?
Absolutely.
And we tried to make sure we did some patterns that balance this out. Okay, and the hearts I love. Okay, back to what we were doing. All right, so we've been over this one, we've been over this one. Third diagram here is the easiest one yet. You're gonna cut the header strip off, you're gonna cut these quadrants apart. These 3 are staying whole. That light brown one, you're doing the same thing you did with it here. You're cutting a 2-inch piece off and making 2 more tags. Wow, what are we gonna do with all these tags in here?
Stick them in.
Stick them in, I'll show you where they're gonna go. But those 2 by 6s, we can embellish in so many different ways. We'll cut some notches out of some, but in this one I went heavy with the tags and you'll see how cute it comes out. All right, we're gonna get back to these in a minute, but let's finish our quadrants. Okay, we're gonna skip this one for a second. Here and here, I want you to write mats, because these are our 4 by 6s again, and here you can write mats and a question mark, okay? So, you're gonna cut the header strip off in the 4 quadrants, and you're gonna take a 2 by 6 off of each. That leaves you 4x6 with mats. Remember, like I said this morning, having a true 4x6 mat on a 4x6 photo, you would just shimmy a little off and a little off, and just about every 4x6 photo has room for you to do that, and then it will fit perfectly on a 4x6 mat. And then all of the pieces that come off your 12x12s are useful pieces. I will double your paper budget if you just listen to that one tip today. I did see some comments earlier from people who are like, oh my goodness, my favorite thing, I never thought of that, okay? 4x6 on your mats, not 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 or 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. Okay, the second one, these are 4x6s, just like here, but we cut them in half this way to have 3x4s. And I showed some layouts earlier, I'm not gonna show them all again, but go back and look. This is a 3x4 scrap. So versatile, okay? And it works with your 4x6 photos. I put mats in a question mark here because you might not want to cut those 4 pieces apart yet to make sure you don't need more 4x6 mats. But I do an even number of each, and I usually make it work with my photos. I like the versatility these give, but sometimes if you need another 4x6, wait to cut. There will be times that you want more of these cut to 3x4s. Your pictures will determine that on day 4 when you're putting your pieces with the photos you have down. Okay, so that got us 5 of the 7 quadrant sheets. Let's talk about this one. This one, we actually are going to cut the header off this time. I have done what I'm about to show you without it cut off, okay? But you can go ahead and take that off of there. And then on the dark pink and cream side, you're cutting a 2-inch piece off, okay? So 2 inches off of one sheet and 2 inches off the next sheet. Katie, run over the paper trimmer and cut 2 inches off of that. You can leave the header strip on so I can show them their choice with it. Okay. All right, so in the first class, we cut a 3-inch piece off and we moved it to the bottom. We're doing a 2-inch piece, and we are gonna make a new layout that has borders down the side, and even taking that off shows you, hey, what colors did I tell you to cut?
Cream and pink.
Okay, yeah, that's wrong.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just going to show you on the page. Yeah, because it's after lunch and it's not going to work. This is why your header strip comes off, because we're taking 2 inches off of here. I'm just going to show you in the finished page right now. Please, please, please tell me you were just taking notes and you followed this diagram and not the words out of my mouth. Through the dark pink and the light brown. Get that header strip off and then cut a 2-inch piece there. So if you want to write 2x12 on this to remind you that that needs to stay whole, do it. So it's only this one cut and you're doing it on 2 sheets of paper, okay? I'm gonna show you that layout in a minute. That leaves us...
Many people are paying attention and caught that, so good job, everybody.
Yay! Yeah, I did it on purpose.
Along. Yeah.
I did it on purpose to test. So Katie and I failed, but y'all did great. Okay, so you have 2 half sheets here, okay? I want you to write these numbers in where to cut and ignore this that says first cut. You can do that, but it makes this harder. It is easier if you cut these skinny ones first, same on this one, and you end up here with a 3x12 that you can cut these pieces out of, okay? So you're gonna measure at 5.5, then you're gonna measure at 5.0, and then you're gonna measure at 4.0 and 3.0. So it's 6 inches wide, you need a piece of 1/2 inch. I promise you it is easier to put that 6-inch piece on a trimmer and measure at 5.5 inches and cut to get that 1/2 inch piece. Then you scoot it to 5 inches to get that one. And then 4 and then 3. That gives you 2 1/2-inch borders and 2 1-inch borders. On this one, you're gonna do 5.5 and 5, and then you're gonna skip to 3 because you want this one left 2 inches long, all right? At that point, you have a 3x12 and a 3x12. One of them you're gonna turn and cut at 4 inches to give you 3x4s. This one, you're gonna do in 3x3s and have some smaller mats. You'll see how cute those are. Any questions on those from anybody, Katie?
Nope.
Nope. All right, let's talk about border strips, okay? The cuts on these are a little different than before. And again, if you're only here for this class, if this was the only kit you ordered, go back and watch the first class to see how different you can make these pieces look, okay? And I think I can do most of this with scissors. So let's start with this one. It's the one with the little dashes, the wood grain, and the hearts. Because you can do this with scissors, y'all, not a trimmer. Cut the header strip off. Okay, and we want this notch out up here. We've done it already a couple of times a day, but I know that I want it about here. So I'm going to pinch that together. I'm going to be careful not to crease this. And I'm going to lay my scissors down so that the short side looks like an arrow. And I hope that makes sense, okay? And then you cut through. And y'all, this is where you need some long bladed scissors from the dollar store, not your little cutter bees and stuff that you have to do this with cutting. Get you a good long blade pair of scissors. And these are the pieces shown here, okay? So you need to make these decisions before you cut all these border strips up. Way cute. All right. This one is your first one. When you cut that header strip off, if you go ahead and cut this in half, you're left with two 2-inch borders. And like, wait a minute, what am I going to do with one border? Well, I gave you two options here. We're going to cut one, the polka dot side, in half this way. And then we're going to cut the flowered side in half long ways to show you that you can turn one into two different ways, okay? So I would make the flowers cut first. So make that your first cut. And you want to measure at 3 inches on your trimmer, because this is 2 inches, this is 2, and you want these to be two 1-inch pieces. So cut the header strip off, measure at 3, and you get that cut, and then when the other one comes off, that's your two 1-inch pieces. Then this one you're going to turn this way and cut in half at 6. Easy enough? I'll put 6 right there. Does that show you where to cut? Everybody good there, Katie?
Think so?
All right. One more set of borders, and it's the 1-inch pieces. All right, you're going to cut the header off. Okay, the first strip, this pink one, you're going to cut that one off. Okay, so that one you're going to cut. So it's the pink dot one. Once you do, you're going to cut it in half at 6 inches. So I'll put a 6 there. And then one of the 6-inch pieces, you're going to take notches out of the end and then cut it in half. But here's the most important part of this. These 3, you're leaving together. Do not cut those apart. You're going to cut them measuring at 9, 6, and 3. And that's going to give you all of these 3x3 squares. When you see this little piece is a 3x3 square, that is the cutest print paper ever by not cutting your borders apart, okay? And see, even somebody like me, it puts the 2 browns and that little bit of pink in the middle, and then you love it. All right, are they good?
I think so. Nobody's saying anything.
Okay, these diagrams were awesome, easy, right? No crazy like cutting the center out.
No crazy.
No, but y'all, you're gonna like these layouts better, the way these pieces go together. And several of the pieces were exactly the same as before. We just did a few more tags. But I added some 3x3s here and some 3x3s here, and you'll see how they work on the layouts. Is everybody ready to see some pages?
Let's do it.
All right, I'm gonna take 3 seconds to take a sip. My throat's getting dry. All right, I'm going to pull a page out for us to start on it. There was going to be a few down in the process. You're going to have to tell me if some of these pages are upside down.
Okay.
I'm going to do them because I think I've got them going both directions. So we're going to get these lined up where you can see them good. pretty good at that, Katie. All right, here are the 2-inch borders that we cut off, okay? So it was, I've glued it on white so you can't see it, but it was the dark pink and the light brown behind there. And at home, this should be ugly paper. For me, it was kind of ugly. You see the footprints on that, Katie? Mm-hmm. So this was messed up, dirty white. So find some kind of 12 by 12 that's ugly and you wouldn't use, maybe the sheets that come out of your albums, and you'll glue these pieces on. So your 2 by 12 borders go on the outside, and then you flip the others to the solid quadrant side, and try to ignore the pretty stuff, but look what you have. You have 6 by 6 mats and 4 by 6 mats. 4 by 6 and 6 by 6. Then you take that header strip and glue it down to hide that seam, especially if you cut crooked. Okay? It'll hide many a thing under there. But it's ugly paper that you're using for your sizing to put it back together. And then this kind of sheet, perfect mats. You don't have to waste more paper on top putting mats on your page. We did this one showing how you could get an extra photo by putting one of the die cuts in the center. This is one of the little mini stacker squares that's in there. So you could use one of the 4 by 6 mats for a title and a smaller photo, or you could leave them all big. Super cute and a different way to use quadrant paper as a background. I hope y'all like that trick.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. This paper is beautiful in layouts.
It is. These next couple pages are pages where this would be ugly paper. Take that perfect white, that's our perfect white cardstock. We sell packs of it and it's on sale in your flash sale, okay? That paper is so amazing that it is what we print everything we sell to you on that perfect white. Now, if it will hold ink this well to become paper, y'all, you can print your pictures on it. Print your pictures at home on our perfect white and it'll be the perfect matte finish and hold the ink like this. But anyway, save that white paper in your kit and treat it as a door prize and use your ugly paper. Put your photos down first and then fill the gaps with your scraps that you've cut around it. These are the 1.5 by 12 borders that we left together. We gave you lots of 4 by 6s, and earlier today these were horizontal, which made these vertical, but look at the difference just by rotating the direction, but the puzzle pieces fit together the same way. The circles soften it up, just like we talked about earlier. We also talked about how the center of the rings is the perfect size to mat our circles, our 2-inch circles that you punch out. Well, so are the little mini stackers. That little scallop is the perfect size to go under there. So, easy, easy. Use your ugly paper up. This one would be another ugly paper one. And how about I turn the words right side up for you? Hey, I think it's going to end up being this whole side. Let's see if that fixes it. Okay, so 4 by 6s, one's a title, one can be blank, or it can be a matte if you have that extra photo. 4 by 6s down, again, this would be ugly paper. These could be small photos. You have a couple more 4 by 6s than I do. Don't put these mattes down. Save those for journaling blocks or something somewhere else. You could have another 4 by 6 here, okay? If you have a ton of 4 by 6s, you could save all of these and have 4 by 6s going all the way down. The border strips just give a fun little division there in the pages. And then the extra pieces from the tag and titles embellish that one. Katie, you gonna stop me if anybody has questions?
I am.
All right, y'all. This is what I said was the cutest paper. Aren't those 3 by 3s cute? 6 by 6s in the middle, 3 by 3s on the corner. You have a couple of extra little photos, you can put them on some of these, but I wouldn't cover up too much of that cute paper. People are gonna stop in your books and go, that's the cutest striped paper, where did you get it? It was a border strip that you turned into that piece, okay? Our titles are 6 inches long on some of them for a reason, so they will fit perfectly on those quadrants, and you can do a smaller round photo under there, bigger one here, or that could be a 4 by 6 going either way with just a ring to highlight it. But let's talk about these. Do you know what size that is? That's a 3 by 6. How many of you,
This picture's perfect.
if this picture is perfect, So many 4x6 pictures are perfect, okay? If you have pictures like this and you took a smidge off the top and then made it 3 inches, I wonder if I could tuck that. Do you see how much bigger the girls look? Their faces, it brings the focus totally into them. There's so many 4x6 pictures that will work, but some of my favorite horizontal ones are ones that are outside. If we go to the beach and take a picture, we'll take a 4x6 and it'll be this much water and this much sky. Take an inch off the sky and look how much more prominent the beach becomes. If you have pictures outside of a mountain range, take an inch off the bottom where the ugly road is that you're taking your picture from, and the mountains are going to be that much bigger. Vertically, my favorite thing to take an inch off is the side of my body. Okay, I can't visually show you right now, but you know what I mean. If I take a picture, vertical picture with me and cute little skinny Katie here, I like to take an inch off of my backside and only have part of me in this photo. So I promise a 3x6 picture works. Now, let me tell you something. Just like I did here, I wouldn't really cut that off. I would tuck it under and trim off anything that stuck out here. These side ones, I would glue us down and cover up what I didn't want to see. Okay, but a 3x6 photo is not a size a lot of people crop their pictures to starting out. I promise it's a good size and you'll like the way it looks in your pages. All right, this one gives you more vertical 4x6s, one horizontal, and a couple of small. If you have another 4x6, scoot this over and this becomes a 4x6. If you have a 4x6 for here, move this down and it overlaps here and it works. We have started the trend, or to trend, the way we're taking photos now and having more vertical mats. Because if you remember, do y'all remember when we carried cameras around? 90% of our pictures were horizontal because you had to remember to take the effort to turn your camera vertically. That has changed because taking pictures with our trusty phone, like it's filming y'all right now they're vertical. You have to make the effort to turn your phone sideways to get a horizontal picture. So we have tried to make that adjustment in our layouts for you as well. All right, these kind of things, these are our pre-cut mini stackers. Y'all, you just cut them in half and let them do the embellishing. We cut some of the square ones into triangles earlier in the other class, like photo corners, but it's so great not spending your time. If you only have 10 minutes a day, you don't need to be fighting with a bunch of tools. Get the pre-cut pieces from us. All right.
I love these dark pink rings.
Oh, do you? Mm-hmm. Good thing you had a girl.
Yeah.
Although, what she wears, I was getting ready to say, she wears the same colors Keller does. Keller has a couple of salmon shirts. That's why I know I can get away with this with him. Okay, and I guess we should stop being stereotypical, because I am certainly not the stereotype of a girl. Okay, we digress again. Anyway, look how cool that is to leave those 3 borders together and take that notch out. Okay, if you have one more photo, you have the perfect place to put it right here. All right, this could be a 4x6. I would probably have a 4x6 vertical under here and let that highlight over the top of it. Here, if you don't have this many small photos, you could journal here and put an embellishment there, or put another photo here and journal in that one. Okay, this is where you would glue the photo on top of the picture, trim the outside edge of that photo off, and you would have a round photo sitting inside of there.
Are the pink rings in the packet?
Yeah, all the die cuts are in there.
What side is, what's on the other side?
The hearts. All right, y'all, make sure on all of your die cuts, everything in your pack of die cuts is double-sided. So what's the back side? The back side is the rough edge. That's a smooth edge. If you want polka dot, there's a set of polka dot rings in there. Okay? This one, if you want to use the polka dot side, go find the polka dot one and flip that over so it's on the smooth edge. Now, if you absolutely are like, I have this one ring left and I want it on this side, not that side, how do you get rid of that rough edge? You take the close-in handle of your scissors and rub it down. It just takes a few seconds, but please, please, please don't have the rough edge of a die cut up. It's like wearing your shirt inside out, okay? Just smooth that sucker right down. After that, I would distress it a little bit with my ink, and then no one would know. You could use either side. But feel for that rough edge. And so the hot pink ones, deep pink, they're in there, and they are the hearts on the back. Okay, back to layouts. Connecting with 4x6s, we just talked about vertical, why those work so great. This is one of your 4x6s that's coming out of the diagrams that we cut. Here is that 2-inch border that we cut in half horizontally instead of vertically. And look how cute that is and balances this page off. But look at the square stacker. In this kit, we put more square stackers in here than we did the other one. And one day we'll get the square ones added to the website too. But I love how that just changes that line just a bit. These rings could purely be decoration if you don't have another picture. But both of them are set in a way that that could be a 4x6 under there. It does not have to be cropped around if you don't want it to be. Actually, I've got this page backwards. Oh my goodness, Wendy, you didn't catch me. Y'all, let me show you the difference. It looks cute with these on the outside, but I would never, ever, ever have that come from the center of the page without it attached to something. So me sitting upside down, it took me a minute to catch it. There we go. These meet in the middle. Now this is on the edge where it needs to be. Doesn't that page look more balanced like that?
If they're loving this, they can still buy the class, right?
Yes, we reactivated all of the CKC classes on our site today. If you are in the Lancaster group with CKC, you can still purchase it on the Creating Keepsakes website. If you are in the Arlington group with CKC, you can still purchase them on their website as well. If you want all 5 classes that we've done today, even if you bought one box and now you want to do another set because you have 2 kids and do 2 albums, or if you want to give it to a friend, or if you're just finding out about us today, you can get all 5 of the classes we're doing on our website. I will make sure to link those before the day is over, but if you go shopping now before I get it linked, it's under virtual classes. And all 5 classes in one box is the craziest best deal. It ended up being 60 something layouts we counted last night, plus the mini album, plus the 3 bonus layouts. It's $350 worth of product for $159, y'all, and that includes free shipping. Okay, let me move on to these couple of pages. How am I doing on time, Katie?
Good. Tammy Hall asked, on the tags and title sheet, sometimes they have dotted lines around them. I've never asked your idea on that. Do we try to leave a small white border when cutting out to show the dotted lines?
It's been a little while since I've shown layouts like that, but yes, I do that some. I definitely do it around Christmas stuff with that collection. And then a couple of our older collections, it's been a while. I haven't left the dotted lines on snapshots and storylines in any finished thing I've done yet, but it gives you that option. That's the whole reason we do a dotted line there, so it can look like stitching for those of us that don't sew. Okay, so it works both ways if you want that white edge. All right, y'all, I think this might be my favorite page in this set of 10 pages. This is one of the mini stackers cut diagonally twice. We did that in the last kit. Here's the bigger square mini stacker left whole, okay? But this is something different to do with all those 2x6s. In that last kit, we cut notches and arrows out of a lot of them. This one, we just put adhesive around 3 edges, and all those tags and all the leftover tags from the tags and titles page, you just put them in all of these gazillion pockets. You could have pictures on these. You can tuck extra photos in these, okay? I love how they line up. You could do 2 more and have a whole thing of them. Just a different version. 2 of them take the space of a 4x6. So if you have a couple more pictures than I show here, don't put these 2 on and have 2 more 4x6s and do this again on another page. I have seen lots of people take our 20-page kit and turn it into a 24 or 26 page kit because you had more photos, okay? Square scallop stacker. This is coming off the edge. I would never do it that way so you see it there, okay? 6x6 match, your photos can go either way. That one border that you cut off the 1 inch, there's the 6 inch, and here are the two 3 inch pieces with notches out. All right, these would be 4x6 photos. This photo could go either way. You could make it round or just highlight over the top. And then a fun trick, it's kind of hard to see, but I put 2 rings there. Use that smaller striped ring to crop and match your photo, and then I put another ring around the outside edge of it. Once a picture is in there, it's gonna look like it's double matted on 2 circles. But think of all the paper you're saving because it's just 2 thin little rings. All right? And last up, here it is. You can see it better here. See, I did it here again. So you use the dark brown one to crop and cut your round photo, and then put the next size up in the stripe so it looks double matted when it's on there. Here's your little 1/2 inch borders. Tuck them under some, or tuck your pictures under some of them. So you always just want to put adhesive on the edges of things to leave you options to tuck. And here I cut a notch out of one of the flashcards to change that up a little bit. Y'all, 20 more pages in the books. All the versatility. So much. All right. Pardon our camera process for just a second. Hello, I'm back. Okay, I'm too tired to stand at the moment, so you're gonna look down at me for just a little bit. We're gonna be back in a couple of minutes. We got 2 more classes to go. Post your questions in the comments here, or email us at Keller's Creations. Whoa!
Trying not to let it fall forward.
Hang on, y'all, I'm gonna get a little dizzy for a minute.
Camera's a little top heavy.
Okay, yeah, so. All right, forgot what I was saying. kellerscreations@gmail.com. Okay, private message on Facebook, either of those. If you have a list of things that you're missing by the end or other questions, if you watch this video a few weeks from now, still post your questions. We should get notified and I will try to answer all the questions. I hope you saw how similar cuts on diagrams with some borders, some mats, different sizes, okay? So versatile. They can look different in everybody's books depending on how your pictures go. Now, to shop, what this class kit was 1 collection pack of storylines, and I added 5 sheets of paper. That changes the way you shop with us. If you know that a pack that full price is 20 bucks, you would walk through our booth if we were in Houston this weekend and go, $20 to make a layout? That's a lot. That $20 pack of 5 sheets of paper and a couple of packs of die cuts makes 20 pages, okay? So even full price, $30 to $40 to make a 20-page album. Y'all, I have seen you spend $30 on 2 titles before, okay? I've done it too, but every page can't be that way. This is the most economical way to scrapbook. There is no scraps. You'll never need a scrap box again, okay? And all your pages look cohesive and coherent, and you'll get it done. You'll get it done. 20 pages in an hour. Your pictures are on there. Spend a little extra time on the journaling if you need to. When you're done, go back and add some Prima flowers and some chipboard and some bling and some whatever, some washi tape. Make it your own, okay? I'm all for that. But after the pictures are on the page, if you're just making pages and not putting pictures on it, you're just a paper crafter, you're not a scrapbooker. And if you're not getting those stories told, when you're gone, who's gonna tell them? When I'm gone, who's gonna tell Keller the stories? Nobody. I'm all he's got, okay? It's important. All right, I get a 5-minute break or so. We'll be back in just a couple. Thanks y'all for being here today.